Huzzah and good day, my wonderful students. Today we start our review of World War I. It starts with the major causes. Nationalism. Different peoples wanted their own country. This caused the assassination. If you recall, the beginning of the war starts with the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand by a Serbian nationalist who wanted lands that were part of Austria-Hungary to become part of Serbia. And it was causing the breakup of Austria-Hungary. Nationalism was destroying this. Imperialism was another cause. Rivalry between European nations came close to war often. Their competition for colonies all over the world made them come into conflict with each other. And also, militarism. Countries built up their militaries, believing them to be necessary to politics. As a result, they had large militaries that were built up, and each side felt that if a war did break out, they would win in very short period of time. Then you have the system of alliances, the Triple Alliance and the Triple Entente, which would lead to the war, causing two countries getting into war, dragging in all the other ones in Europe. So it all begins in the Balkan powder keg, the Balkan Peninsula, the powder keg of Europe. Austria-Hungary had many different ethnic groups, and Serbia wanted Slavic territories in Austria-Hungary. Here's Serbia right here, here's Austria-Hungary, and that is Sarajevo, where the Archduke was assassinated. Russia supported Serbia because it wanted to lead a Slavic League. As you can see here from the map, Russia is part of the Triple Entente, Russia, Great Britain, and France, where the Triple Alliance is Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Russia wanted to lead a Slavic League. The spark that lights the fuse on this powder keg is the Archduke of Austria-Hungary being killed by a Serbian nationalist. Austria-Hungary then declares war on Serbia, and the alliance system brought everyone else into the war. Innovations in warfare. Now, I know this picture is a little blurry, but you get the idea. So you have here is the soldiers in the trenches, and they would step up onto the firing step to be able to shoot through. And then there was barbed wire and the shell craters in no man's land. Machine guns were a new invention, and the old style of infantry charges was no longer a viable way of attacking an enemy front. So the troops ended up living, basically, in these trenches for protection from the machine guns. Tanks were created so that the troops could move forward more easily against the machine gunners. And airplanes, submarines, and poison gas were used extensively for the first time in this war. It is effectively an industrialized war. The defeat of the Central Powers. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire were eventually defeated in 4 years. It took from 1914 to 1918. Austria-Hungary ended up broken up into many different nations and parts of different nations, and the Ottoman Empire was reduced to just Turkey. It was the end of the empire. President Wilson of the United States introduced his 14-point plan for peace. So take a good look at this map here. You can see where Germany is in Austria-Hungary, and now take a look over here. Here's Germany, definitely shrunken. Poland is now part of this, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. You notice Russia is gone. It's been replaced by the Soviet Union. You see the changes. Czechoslovakia is here. Here's Austria. Here's Hungary. Yugoslavia is formed as a country. There's Turkey, of course. All of these changes. Now the Treaty of Versailles, which ends the war. Harsh terms. Germany had to accept full fault or blame for the war. Germany had to give up all of their colonies. Germany could not have an air force. And Germany's army was limited to 100,000 men, which was not really very much compared to the armies of that time. And Germany had to pay reparations to the Allies. The Armenian Genocide. Now, the Ottomans during the war had massacred 1 million Armenians that wanted independence. And this is basically the first genocide of the 20th century. And that is our review of World War I.